All right, the next phase in this project, we have to get the tile down on the floor. So we'll start by putting the Schluter Ditra down on the floor as an uncoupling mat because we're putting this over plywood. But there's a really important step that you have to do when you're doing any sort of tiling project if you want it to come out good. And the first thing you do is you come into the room and you're going to lay out your tile in the room and then get a feel for what you want to do. But after that, you want to come in and lay it out here. So Adam, what are you trying to accomplish as you're laying these tiles out on the floor?
So we're looking for inconsistencies in the tiles, making sure the patterns flow the way you want them to. You don't want to wind up with small slivers on the edges of the room. We're looking for where the penetrations for sinks, toilets, and things like that puncture through the tile, so we want to make sure they're in good locations, and to make sure that seams wind up where you want them, like for flow. When you come into the room, is a tile break in a weird location.
Now we'll get all our cuts done, and the tile will be dry fit in the bathroom as a final step. Well, as the next to final step. And of course, after it's all dry fit and we know that every cut is perfect, then we'll go ahead and start the installation with actual thin set, bonding this down to the floor forever and ever.
One of the reasons I want to do this because I want to find out how accurate we were with that 1/3 piece that we have the second row here, to see how it would land. And it was coming up, I think we had 5.5, I think, on that end, and there was less than 4 down here, and then you're covering it up with trim, so it was shrinking. So I adjusted it to, instead of cutting the 1.5 off, we're cutting like 2 1/8 for our starting.
Sure.
And then that leaves us with more. It's still going to be a little less once we put trim on, but it'll look good.
All right, sounds good. All right, the next step is to lay it all out in the bathroom. So we're getting all the cuts done and laying it all out as a dry fit, and then we'll come back after it's all completed and we'll start actually laying it down permanently. All right, all the dry fitting is done. So you can see we got it nice and tight around the drain. Of course, in back it won't matter because that'll be covered up by the toilet. But everything is ready to go. We're gonna start putting this down for real now, and I'll show you what it looks like when everything is done and grouted. Whenever we're doing any type of tile job, we always use these leveling clips. And you don't have to use them. You can get a really good job without them. But using these religiously just makes sure that every single tile is set perfectly. You never have a lip, and you're just taking the quality level up another notch.